Hey guys, it's Jen here and welcome to Jen's World About Watercolour. So today I'm going to draw a gorgeous rhinoceros that I saw when I went to Werribee Free Range Zoo the other day to draw. I took my daughter, who's a beautiful photographer, with me, and it was a lovely quiet day at the zoo. So all the kids were at school, all the young kids were at school, so I got to go to the Free Range Zoo and sit and paint these guys. Anyway, so I've come home and I've got lots of reference photos. So I thought I would paint one of my favourites for you, which is this gorgeous rhinoceros who was having a nap while we were there. So yeah, so she was laying down. So yeah, so I'm going to have a bit of fun trying to draw her today, and I thought I'd do it in real time. So you can watch my non-speeded up version. So I'm just drawing her tusks in now, and I'm using my Albrecht Dürer watercolour pencils by Faber-Castell. They're gorgeous watercolour pencils. So for drawings like these, I will use I'll use it for my background, and then at the end I'll add in some finer detail with them. It just helps to define things a little bit, because watercolour can be a bit washy at times. So I really like to sometimes add these as a bit of detail at the end. So she was laying with her shoulders up here. She's such a gorgeous creature. So yeah, we had an absolute ball. We went pretty much on feeding time. Like, we got there when it opened, so it was morning feed time. So yeah, oh no, sorry, oh yeah, we didn't get there at feed. That was the Melbourne Zoo we went the other day. That was another zoo we went to. We got to this one at lunchtime, so it was lunchtime feed time. So yeah, so they were all having a nap with their full tummies. So yeah, it was amazing. So I got to sit sort of in the bus but near these guys, and there was a little group of rhino, and then later in the day we went over to the cheetah, and she was sleeping right at the front of her enclosure, so I got to sit for half an hour and draw the cheetah. Oh my goodness, that was such an amazing experience. She opened her eyes occasionally and looked up at me, and that was about it. So I got to just sit there and actually paint from real life, a proper little watercolour. So that was pretty awesome, which I'll show you in a later video, I think. So yeah, so this rhino, they were out in the plains section of the Werribee Free Range Zoo. So they have all the animals that would live together in the wild, able to live together in their savannah sort of situation here. So they've got, I'm not sure how many acres, but it's a massive property. So the rhinos and the giraffe and everything's happily sort of sitting together and living together and eating together and grazing together as they would in the wild. So it's, yeah, it's quite gorgeous. So that is pretty much the sketch done. So now I'm going to go in with my silver black velvet size 10, grab my stuff, get my cloth organised, and I'm using my Sennelier travel paints today. So I'll mix up a grey, so I'll go with good old cobalt blue and burnt umber, just like that, and do a very washy grey wash over the whole of the rhino, just to give her a base coat. I'll leave a few highlights here or there for where the sun was shining on her, because we are in winter here, but it was such a lovely day. It was about 15 odd degrees centigrade, and the sun was shining, and all the animals were so content and relaxed. So yeah, so I got some awesome reference photos. I'm a shocker at using a camera, so luckily my daughter had just come back from holidaying in Canada and the US. So she was still on holidays from work, so she came and photographed for me while I was painting and drawing, so she could get some reference pictures, which was so awesome. Yeah, so I've got lots and lots of paintings to do and drawings to do in the future, which is exciting, because there's nothing I like more than sitting back of an evening with my sketch pad and my pencils, usually charcoals, or I quite like fine liners at the moment. It's a bit of fun, bit of something different, just to have a bit more sketchy drawing kind of things. I'm usually a pencil or painter. I'm not a marker person, but I'm having a bit of fun just playing with different mediums at the moment. So now, possibly I'll do later down the track, I'll do some speed sketches, and I'll film one of my sitting back in front of the telly at night drawing sessions, because I do that nearly every night. And yeah, I generally have a sketchbook with me wherever I go, so no matter what, even if I don't paint, I'm always drawing. It's one of my favourite things to do. Like, people read books, people play music, people listen to music, I draw. That's my thing. So now I'm just colouring in her leg. So I'm just getting this base coat in. Righto. So I might add a bit more grey around her face, because she's got shadowed areas, but she's also got quite light areas. Like that. And I can always darken things up in a little bit, so I might leave that for now. And I'll go in, she was on quite a rich green grassy bed, so I will use my cobalt blue and lemon yellow to do. I might add a bit of brown to that, just to brown it off, because here in Australia the grass isn't bright green. We've got a browny green grass, so add a bit burnt umber to it. That browned it off nicely. There we go. Now, so that's sort of Australian grassy colour. So I'll just pop that in and around her, like that. And I'll add some shadowy bits in as we go. Yeah, so I'd love to hear from you guys if you'd like to see some of my sketches, just very quick little drawings, and I'd literally colour them in with a bit of graphite, bit of charcoal, bit of marker, fine liner, and just keep it really simple. So now, that'd be great if you'd let me know if you'd like to see that, because I can do, happy to do more of that. So now I'm going to mix up some more grass, so a bit more burnt umber, a bit more cobalt blue, a bit more lemon yellow, but just a slightly thicker consistency. And just pop that in around like that. And she's got both her front legs tucked up under her, which is really sweet. She looks so comfy. So, actually all the animals looked really relaxed, except for the meerkats. They were bouncing around like yo-yos. And I did a sketch of one of them last night with my fine liners. It was awesome, because yeah, they came right up and were standing on alert and right like 2 inches away from me, which was just incredible. So I've got a bazillion photos of the meerkats, and yeah, lots and lots and lots of sketches. So I've got a Twitter account, so it's Jen's Watercolour, and I popped up my night sketches on there. So if you'd like to have a look, feel free to pop across to Jen's Watercolour on Twitter. Because usually if I'm sitting and painting of a night, or drawing of a night rather, I'll just pop my sketches up there, because as I do them for a bit of fun. Right, so now I'm going to go in a bit of brown, or a bit of burnt umber rather, bit of cobalt blue for a really quite grey mix, and now I'm going to go into her darker areas. So her eye is really dark in the photograph. So leave a little highlight, and that's just go around the outside of it, like that. Oh, that looks cute. Okay, now we do her nose. So this is burnt umber cobalt blue. So I've got my travel palette out today, so I'm just using a limited palette. So I'm just going to stick with split primaries, which is a warm and cool of each primary, so red, blue and yellow. And I've got a couple of convenience colours, but I'm mixing them all today. So I've got a couple of greens. I love my greens. So I love my olive greens and stuff. But I'm only using greens that I mixed today. Keeping it simple. So the underside of her tusk was quite dark. So I'll just leave that like that. And then underside of that tusk. So yeah, I ended up becoming a member at the zoo, so I can go anytime and take as many photos as I like. So I'm actually going back on Tuesday, and hopefully we'll go first thing in the morning. And I've got another art friend who's an awesome painter that will go and just wander around, all the animals pop up together and paint. She's specific, like she loves her big cats and things, so I'd be quite happy to pop in front of that cheetah again if she's happy to nap for us and or relax in front of the glass like she did the other day. Oh my goodness. I might, at the end of this video, I might pop up some photos of the day trip, because it was just so incredible, of the different animals and how close we got. So, and I got the hippos as well. Oh my goodness, the hippos were all laying in a happy pile in their enclosure, so I got to paint a hippo, but of course everything's laying down, so I don't have any sketches of them standing. They're all laying down, so that was cute, except for the giraffes. They were standing up, but yeah, they were fun too. They decided that they needed to be in front of the bus, so they walked in front of the bus and stood there, so we got to sit there and just watch everything. So, which was awesome. But yeah, no, it was pretty cool, definitely pretty cool. So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of, what's that one? That's burnt sienna. Just a little bit burnt sienna, because she's got sort of reddy tinge around her skin. Just a bit of warmth, a bit of reddy brown. So I'll just take that just in different areas that I can see it on her, like that. And then she's got a bit up on her forehead there. So I'm going to leave some white bits. Like, this is just a simple sketch just to show basic sort of painting. So I'll take that around there. I've probably got it a bit wet there, so it might cauliflower, but it doesn't matter. I can always go over it. Right, cool. So then she's got that legs folded back under her front leg as well. And she's got a bit of a there. So now she's got a big armoured fold there, so I'll take that up. There was a bit of red on there. So it's just a very, very thin wash, like that. And then she had a darker grey bit up here, so on her shoulder, so I'll just put a wash of that in while it's still damp. I can come back in and soften edges up later if I need to. But why wait till later when you can do it now? So I'll do that now. Just soften that up and drag it down and around a little bit. Righto, now she's got a bit of red. I'll go with burnt sienna again on her belly. Just like that. And then we'll move that around so it's not so bright with a damp brush. Just like that. And then a bit on her back leg. Like that. Righto. So just take that all around. And she's got quite a dark piece under her back foot. So I'll go a bit of burnt umber, a bit of ultramarine blue, and take that into the shadow of her foot. Just colour that in because that was in complete shade, like that. Okay, so that's that foot, and there's a bit of shadow up in here. So I'll actually go over this a little bit. I'll make up a purpley colour, a cool shadow colour, but initially I'm just going to mark it in so I know it's in the right spot. And I can always purple it up later. And she's quite dark around that outside leg, outside of that leg, like that. And then she's got the shadow there, like that. Oops, lose those lines, don't want any jaggedy bits. And she's got her rib cage, or the shape of her armour, sort of you can see it greying off like that. Righto, so now, and she also has, I might actually add a bit of purple, a bit of red rather, so that brown mix, I'm just going to add a bit of cad red. and see if we can make it a purpley brown. So a bit more burnt umber, a bit more cobalt blue, a bit of cad red. Right, so that's a purpley brown, or a, yep, purpley brown. And I'm just going to take that into that other side where she's in complete shade there, where her legs bent back around. And I'll just draw some wrinkles because she's got wrinkly legs. Take her right up to her tusk like that. Gives that some contrast. And then it goes up here like that. Take that up her shoulder a bit. Then I'll match that on this side into her shadowy bit. So this is burnt umber, cobalt blue, and a bit of red, or a bit of, yeah, cad red, just to help do some lines for her knees, like that. So where's her other shadowy areas? So she's got a real shadowy bit here. So I'll do that with that colour, same colour there. And using the same sort of shadowy colours all over her unifies the whole picture. Just brings it all together, because you don't want a blob of one colour here and a blob of one colour there. You sort of want a little bit of the same colours all over them. Okay, so I'll just do that. Now I'll go into that back leg shadow. I might make it a bit darker. So I'll add a bit more blue. And then I'll take that into that darker shadow at the back. Like that. She's got her wrinkles, the underline of her wrinkles there. The top of her foot. Just soften that up with a bit of a damp brush like that. And then she's quite dark here. So I'll just take a damp brush with the same colour on it and move that around. Trying to be braver with my shadowy bits and not keep everything all light and happy. I just got to go in and be a bit bolder with my colours, just because it makes contrast and it really does help. I tend to be a bit more protective and leave things a bit too light and fluffy. So just being a bit braver here, because there's not a lot of colour variation in rhinos. They're all sort of greys and browns. So I'm trying to create as much contrast as I can within that spectrum of colours, which is very dark down here. So what I'm going to do is a stronger mix of ultramarine and burnt umber, which is almost a black, and I've just made that wet, so I'm just going to pop it into the wet and it'll sort of go fit and go everywhere on its own like that. Oh, that's a nice colour. Okay, that worked. So now I'm going to take that back in to the darkest shadow on this other leg, just like that. Take it up to the grass, pop that toe in, define it a bit more. There we go, starting to look like something now. So we'll go back in again, ultramarine, mix up some more of that dark colour, burnt umber, like that, so it's almost a black. And then I pop that into the darkest parts of her ears, like that. And into that ear. Now I'm trying to figure where's it dark, so that's the shadow side of her face. Okay, tusk. So mark in just the darkest part of that tusk, darkest part of that tusk. Yeah, I couldn't believe my luck that all the animals were relaxing and sitting still for me, so I got to paint pretty much everything in real time, in real life, from not photographs, which was the first time in my life that I've been able to sit with an animal, or not with an animal, but in the vicinity of a wild animal and paint it in its natural habitat. God, it was heaven. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So now, just pop the details, some finer details in around the ears. We're not far off done. I mean, this is only meant to be a sketch, a watercolour sketch. So, and it's quite effective and simple. So I'll go back into that line. I might come in this is a bit of Payne's Grey, just to define her darkest darks. like this, because she's got like an armoured piece there, a fold that comes down over her leg. Pop that in. She has one on that side too, so I'll do that in like that. Do the darkest in her ears, and I've left, as you can see, I've left white spots or white pieces of her skin for where the light's hitting. Do that eye, a few more lines under her eye. They've got such beautiful faces. They really are incredible, incredible things. Do her lips. Kind of resting on the grass there. Darken up these dark shadows. She's the one that comes down her belly like that. And this I'm all doing with Payne's Grey like that. Just to darken up the darkest darks. Like that. And do under that leg. Her legs, both her front feet are tucked up under her mouth, under her chin. So I do that. I'm pretty happy with that, I think. Yeah, so pop that shadow in there, and I reckon we are just about done. So if you like this video, I'd love it if you click like and subscribe. And yeah, click on the bell icon and see more of my work. Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to pop up some of my sketches. If you pop in the comments down below if you'd like to see some of my sketches that I do in front of the telly, I'll film them in real time and pop them up. And because yeah, I love drawing, love drawing, and I'd love to incorporate some of that into my channel. Yeah, so I look forward to hearing from you guys. I reckon, actually I've got to soften that up a little bit more, like that. Do that, soften it up. I reckon we're just about done. So I'll sign her now, and we're good. Righto. I look forward to seeing you guys on my next video. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you next time. Okay guys, bye.